Safety Manager, From Zero to Expert by Dmitry Borovoy. Hours of Service, The Driver's Working Hours. Chapter 7. Hours of Service, The Driver's Working Hours. This is the core of safety work. In this chapter, the driver's hours of service rules, the famous 11-14-70 formula, the 4 extensions from the 2020 reform, and most importantly, how to reconcile the logbook against real documents and put together a log audit report. After this chapter, you'll open any driver's log and in 10 minutes tell me whether he's clean or whether a fine is already ticking under you. Pause. The thought going through your head right now, too many numbers, I'll never hold them in my head. Stop. That's first impression talk, not reality. HOS numbers don't work like school math. You're not going to memorize them. You'll see them every single day on the ELD screen. In 2 weeks, they'll be as automatic as your own phone number. I'll walk you through. Let's go. 7.1. Where HOS came from and why you can't skip past it. Hours of service. Federal rules that spell out how many hours in a row a commercial truck driver can keep his hands on the wheel, how many hours he can work in a shift at all, and how much rest he owes himself between shifts. The rules are written by FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, the regulator you met back in Chapter 1. HOS applies to anyone behind the wheel of a CMV, commercial motor vehicle, on U.S. roads, truckers, intercity buses, school buses. Why they exist at all. Short version, a tired driver kills people. Long version, same thing, with crash statistics. The first HOS edition came out in 1937. The rules have been rewritten dozens of times since, but the core idea hasn't budged an inch. A human cannot honestly judge his own fatigue. In the lab, a driver says, "I'm alert," and at the same time his EEG is catching microsleeps. He doesn't feel it. Nobody feels it. Out of that grows the entire HOS structure. After 11 hours at the wheel, you're dangerous. Not possibly dangerous, not dangerous under bad circumstances. Dangerous. Who pays when the rules break? 2 layers of liability, and newcomers usually only see the first one. The driver is personally on the hook. A violation found at a roadside inspection lands in his personal record and surfaces in PSP, Pre-Employment Screening Program, when he goes looking for his next job. The company takes the harder hit. FMCSA's logic is simple. A carrier is required to train and supervise its people. No supervision system, the company is knowingly letting rules get broken. Fines here are in the tens of thousands, not thousands. In the worst cases, criminal charges against officers. I've seen fines up to $100,000 for systematic HOS violations a company didn't notice. That's not a scare story. That's real 2020's practice. 4 windows through which FMCSA sees your HOS. 1. Safety audits. The auditor asks for logbooks and matches them against BOLs and receipts. 2. Roadside inspections. The inspector on the road looks at the last 8 days right there in the cab. 3. Investigations. A deep review, usually after a complaint or crash. 4. Crash reports. If a crash turns up the fact that a driver was 13 hours in, that goes into 2 files at once. Crash plus HOS violation. Paper ELD, short timeline. Until the mid-1980s, a driver drew his day by hand on a paper sheet, the paper logbook. Easy to lose, and you have to store it for 6 months. A 20-truck company drowned in paper. Then came AOBRD onboard recorders in 1988. In 2012, Congress passed MAP 21, which locked in mandatory electronic logging. Key dates: December 16, 2015, the final rule, ELD mandate, is published. December 18, 2017, AOBRD transition. December 16, 2019, full switch to ELD, electronic logging device. Today, paper logs are allowed only in narrow cases. Truck built before 2000, driveaway operations, or a driver who works no more than 8 days out of 30. And that's good news. An ELD is essentially impossible to backdate. It's tied to the engine, to GPS, and to the provider's servers. You as safety get online access. You see every driver in real time. You push notes, You pull logs for any period. The roadside inspector grabs the last 8 days via web transfer directly from the driver. 7.2. The 4 driver statuses. Every second of a driver's working time is in one of 4 statuses. This is foundation. Nothing else works without it. Status, what it means, examples. For staff safety managers, off duty. Driver is not in the truck, completely free. Hotel, home, walking around town. For owners, sleeper berth, SB. Driver is in the truck, in the sleeper. Sleeping at a truck stop, lying in the cab. Driving, D. Truck is moving. Driver is at the wheel. Hauling, heading to pickup, heading to fuel. On duty, on. Working but not driving. Pre-trip, pickup, delivery, fueling, DOT inspection, maintenance. Off versus SB, a distinction you nail down cold. Drivers often shrug. What's the difference? I'm resting either way. Here's the difference. Off, I'm not in the truck. SB, I'm in the truck, in the sleeper. Why it matters. You set off, but the inspector sees on GPS that the truck sat in one spot and you were right there. Now you're being asked to prove you were outside the truck. Hotel receipt, for instance. No receipt, you have a problem. Rule for drivers, simple. Resting in the cab, SB. Went to a motel or home, off. Mixing these up is the single most common mistake on an audit. On duty, the status people trip on. Plenty of owners genuinely don't get it. A truck inspection, fueling, a drive to the service shop, that's work, not personal errands. Typical wipeout. Ivan has burned all 70 hours, dropped his load, tells safety, I'll swing over to the truck stop, check a tire. Safety says fine. Roadside inspector catches Ivan in violation. Driving to maintenance is on duty, and Ivan's cycle is already over. Fine on the driver and the company. The one narrow crack is personal conveyance, PC. The driver uses the truck for purely personal purposes. Restaurant, maintenance, fueling, deadheading to the next load, not PC. Don't mix them up. 7.3. The 11-14-70 formula, the heart of HOS. 3 numbers you'll see in your dreams. Driving ceiling per shift. 14. Shift window ceiling from the moment you start. 70. Work ceiling across a rolling 8 days, cycle. 11 hours. Pure driving. After a 10-hour rest, a driver has 11 hours of wheel time. Not 11:01, not 11:15, exactly 11. At 11:01, the ELD logs the violation automatically. This is a ceiling, not a target. A driver can go 5 hours, 7, 9, all fine. 11 is the red line, after which he's required to stop. 14 hours, the shift window. The moment a driver goes from SB off into any working status, the 14-hour clock starts. Everything he can do, driving, pickup, delivery, fuel, inspection, must fit inside those 14. Of those, 11 max are driving. The other 3 are loading, unloading, fueling, inspection. Key detail people break on. The 14-hour window does not pause if midday the driver drops into off or SB. Hours tick in real time. Truck parked, clock still ticking. Exceptions, sleeper berth split and adverse conditions, both below. 10 hours, rest between shifts. To reset the 14-hour window, you need 10 consecutive hours in SB, off, or a combo of SB plus off. Minimum means minimum, not 9:59. I know a case. Driver slept 9 hours 57 minutes, rolled out, got pulled over. Out of service for 10 hours, fine, CSA points. 3 minutes cost the company a chunk of its safety score. 30-minute break. After 8 hours of driving, you need a break of at least 30 minutes. The clock runs on driving, not on shift start. Before September 2020, the break had to be an off or SB. After, if the driver spent 30+ minutes in on, waiting at a dock for example, it counts. Simple logic. You sat 2 hours in line at a dock, your eyes and head rested, why add another 30 on top? 70 hours, 8 days, the cycle. Over a rolling window of 8 calendar days, on plus D, you can't have more than 70 hours. Rolling means every day you look at the sum for the last 8 days back. An hour that ages past 8 days falls off and hands you back an hour in the tank. 34-hour restart. Want to zero out the cycle and start a fresh 70-hour week? spend 34 consecutive hours in OFF SB. That's the 34-hour restart. Standard scenario, driver burned 65 hours over 6 days. Friday evening came home, rested the weekend. By Monday morning he's passed 34 hours off. Cycle reset, new 70 available. What one honest day looks like. 9 o'clock, woke up in the cab, exiting SB. 9:09:15, pre-trip inspection on. 9:15, 13:15, driving 4 hours. 13:15:14, pickup on. 45 minutes, counts as break. 1400, driving 5 hours. 1900, fuel on. 1930, driving 1 hour. 2100, delivery on. 2100, 0700, sleeper berth 10 hours. Shift totals, driving 10H, ceiling 11, shift window 12H, ceiling 14, break 30 plus minutes, rest before next day 10H, add 7.4. 2020 reform, 4 extensions. The industry complained for years, rigid HOS breaks appointments, drivers lose money. FMCSA eventually introduced 4 extensions. As safety, you're required to know them and flip them on in your ELD provider account. The system won't apply them otherwise. 1. Split sleeper berth, 7.3 and 8.2. Base rule, 10 hours SB straight. Extension, you can split those 10 hours into 2 parts. Bigger part, minimum 7 hours in SB. Smaller part, minimum 2 hours, SB or off. Total, no less than 10. The bonus that made it all worth it, the smaller part does not eat the 14-hour window. The window is effectively frozen during the short break. Typical scenario. Driver pushed through to his delivery at midnight, unload at 8 a.m. Under base rules, 10 hours SB until 10 o'clock. Appointment lost, company eats a late fee. With split, 7 hours SB, 007, 15 minutes over to the dock, 3 hours unloading. 7 plus 3 equals 10. Window is open again. This is an emergency tool, not a lifestyle. If a driver is running this way every day, you're not looking at optimization, you're looking at burnout. Adverse driving conditions, plus 2 hours. Under unexpected heavy conditions, blizzard, flood, gridlock after a major crash, 11 hours driving, 13 hours. 14-hour shift, 16 hours. The key word is unexpected. Everyone saw the storm forecast 3 days out. That's not adverse conditions, that's bad planning. Short haul exception, 150-mile radius. Drivers within 150 air miles of the home terminal, returning home the same day within 14 hours, are exempt from the 30-minute break and from electronic logs. Timesheets allowed. Mostly for local drivers and agriculture. Short legs, lower speeds. 30-minute break in on-duty, already covered. After September 2020, the break counts in on if the block was at least 30 minutes. Pickup, delivery, fuel. Alaska and Hawaii, a separate reality. Hawaii, no onboard logs at all. Timesheets. Alaska, its own, more relaxed limits. Section 395.1 FMCSA, due to geography and weather. What the driver carries in the cab. On every trip, the driver is required to have a specific set of papers on him. U.S. Safety are required to make sure they were issued, are current, and the driver knows where they are. Checklist. CDL, not expired, class matches the truck. DOT medical card, current. ELD, working, driver knows how to use it. ELD user manual, provider's instructions, inspectors ask for this often. Malfunction instructions, what to do if the ELD dies. Blank paper logs, minimum 8 days worth in case the ELD fails. Bill of lading, BOL, for every load. Insurance certificate, COI, truck registration, cab card, trailer registration, IFTA license, plus decals, IRP apportioned registration, annual DOT inspection report. Sample in the book materials pack, truckernavi.com/en/book. Log Audit, your monthly procedure. Here's what everything above was building toward. Log Audit, a monthly reconciliation of the driver's electronic log against objective documents. You hunt down discrepancies, record them, and get explanations from the driver before DOT finds them. Why do it? At a safety audit, The inspector almost always asks for logs plus supporting documents. A ready log audit report takes half the questions off the table automatically. You look like a person who knows the job. You catch drivers cooking their logs before DOT does. You catch ELD glitches, they happen, and fix them before they turn into a violation on the record. What objective data means: data that doesn't depend on the driver and can't be doctored. 1. Bill of lading, BOL, where pickup and delivery were and when. 2. Fuel report receipts, where and when he fueled. 3. DOT inspection reports, where and when he was inspected. 4. Toll receipts, toll road passages. 5. Maintenance invoices, when and where he was at the shop. 6. Annual DOT inspection report, the yearly. Sample, in the book materials pack, truckernavi.com/en/book. Every one of these events must be reflected in the log. BOL says pick up Memphis TN 0804-2020 at 1400, and at that moment, the log shows the driver in Chicago. Rent flag up. 7.7 Log Audit Step by Step. Step 1. Load report for the month. Load report, a summary table of every load the driver ran in the month, pulled from the BOLs. Minimum columns: pickup location, pickup date, delivery location, delivery date, BOL number. Example: pickup loc, pickup date, delivery loc, delivery date, BOL number. Memphis TN 0804-2020, Athens TN 0805-2020, 204-33-35, Ringgold GA 0807-2020, Purvis MS 0808-2020, 076449, Mosul MS 0811-2020, Vernon CA 0812-2020, 102-066608. Practical note: every shipper has its own BOL format, and the number on it is called different things: BOL number, PO number, shipping number, order number. Take BOL number first. If there isn't one, PO number. Sample in the book materials pack, truckernavi.com/en/book. Step 2. Fuel report. Fuel card, WEX EFS COM data. Pull the report automatically. Date, time, location, gallons, amount. No card. Get receipt photos from the driver. And here's what matters: receipts come in right after fueling, not in one batch at the end of the month. Otherwise, there's nothing to reconcile and half of them are gone. Sample in the book materials pack, truckernavi.com/en/book. Step 3. ELD log for the month. Provider's web portal, Motive, Keep Truckin', Samsara, Omnitrax, Garmin, period, export. Each day in the log looks like this: header, profile form, driver name, CDL number, carrier name plus US DOT number, main office plus home terminal plus time zone, co-driver, if any, truck number, VIN, trailer number, miles for the day, odometer start, end, engine hours, shipping docs, BOL from to, middle, the 4 status graph over time, bottom, event detail, notes, comments on each status, driver signature at end of day. Step 4. Line-by-line reconciliation. This is the main work. You walk through the days. Is pre-trip inspection at the start of the shift? On, 10-15 minutes. Pickup delivery locations in the log equals locations on the BOL. Pickup delivery times match the BOL with a parking buffer in minutes. Fuel stop in the log matches the fuel report by location and time. 2 to 5 minute lag is fine. Grab the receipt. Walked back. Log time zone equals main office time zone. Odometer start of the day equals odometer end of the previous day. Teleport equals red flag. Engine hours same. Growth during SB shouldn't exceed SB duration. Driver signature at the end of each day. HOS not broken. 11-14-70. 30-minute break. 10-hour rest. Notes filled in for non-standard events. Maintenance, inspection, PC. Step 5. Log audit report. A table of every discrepancy found. Date, driver, type of error, description, comment. 08-04-2020. John Smith, HOS violation. Drove 11 hours 12 minutes. Adverse weather, pic attached. 08-05-2020. John Smith, false log. Fuel at 1624 Nashville, Tennessee, but log shows Lafayette, GA. GPS glitch, ELD grabbed the nearest large city. 0810-2020, John Smith, missing BOL. BOL number XYZ lost. Copy requested from the broker. Sample, in the book materials pack, truckernavi.com/en book. 2 error categories, false log, log doesn't match objective data. Not always malice. Often, the driver forgot to switch status. The ELD didn't recognize a small town. The device glitched. HOS violation, a direct break of 11-14-70-30-10. Step 6. Explanation from the driver. Every row in the log audit report needs a comment in English. What happened and why. You don't make it up. You ask the driver. Where you can, back it up with evidence. A photo of the traffic jam, a news story about the storm, a weather screenshot. English, because the safety audit inspector speaks English. He's not going to wait while you translate. Step 7. Monthly archive. Driver's folder structure. / driver John Smith OG 2020 / 01 logbook OG 2020.pdf / 02 load report OG 2020.xlsx / 03 BOL 2043335.pdf BOL 076449 PDF dot / 04 fuel report.og 2020.pdf / 05 fuel receipts dot / 06 maintenance dot / log audit report.og 2020.xlsx / 08 paper logs if ELD malfunction dot. Keep it 6 months, federal minimum. At Trucker Navi, we keep 12. Requests come in later than you think. 7.8. 3 typical scenarios for staff safety managers. Clean. Alex sends BOLs on WhatsApp right after unloading. Puts notes in the ELD. Fuel. Pickup XYZ. DOT inspection. End of month. Safety pulls the log. Reconciles. 2 small GPS glitches. Both explained. Log audit clean. 3 months later, safety audit inspector opens Alex's folder. Asks 2 questions. Moves on to the next one. Dot. Middle of the road. Ivan drives well, but gets lazy on notes. BOLs come in as a weekly pile. Safety catches over the month. 7 days with no notes on fuel stops. Fills them in manually. 2 discrepancies of 15-20 minutes between BOL and log. Late for an appointment. Forgot to switch status. 1 HOS violation. Driving 1108. Didn't quite make the truck stop in time. Safety puts together the log audit. Calls Ivan. Adds the comments. Demands notes go in immediately next month. Looks fine at audit. Small errors, all explained. Dot. Red, Vitali. 15 years at the wheel, I know how. Runs the log by eye. Off instead of SB. Flips statuses arbitrarily. Loses BOLs. Safety catches over the month. 12 HOS violations. 8 BOL log mismatches of 1 to 3 hours. Minus 5 lost BOLs. Minus 3 times fueled in one state and the log shows another. This isn't errors. This is a pattern. Safety is required to 1. Document all of it in a log audit report. 2. Put it on the owner's desk. 3. Recommend immediate removal from duty. Keep this guy. In 2 to 3 months, he'll tank CSA and pull DOT investigation down on you. I've seen this many times. Keeping Vitali is knowingly dragging tens of thousands of dollars of risk onto the company. Dot. 7.9. 2 tracks for owners. Track A, owner-operator. You've got 1 to 3 trucks. You're driving yourself. The plus is obvious. Your safety and driver in one body. No phone calls to yourself. The minus is just as obvious. After 12 hours at the wheel, you come back to the cab, and notes are the last thing that fits in your brain. End of month, nothing is reconciled. Realistic. Put notes in the ELD right away before you pull out of pickup delivery. Photograph the BOL right away after unloading. Push it to the cloud. Once a week, 30 minutes for a mini reconciliation. Before every run, glance at driving hours, cycle, break. Once you've got 2 to 3 drivers on staff, Handoff log audit. That's 3 to 4 hours per driver per month. You physically can't carry it alone, and one missed month of audit equals empty folder by the next DOT visit. For staff safety managers, Track B, employed safety. Your job is daily monitoring plus monthly log audit. Daily, 15-30 minutes, open the ELD dashboard, run through all drivers. See an HOS violation, call the driver same day. See an ELD malfunction, call the provider. Monthly, 2 to 4 hours per driver. Log export, gather BOLs plus fuel report, line-by-line reconciliation, log audit report, request explanations, archive. 15+ drivers, build templates and processes. Without solid Excel, you're stuck. 7.10 Typical new safety failures. 1. Didn't turn on the 2020 extensions in the ELD. System doesn't apply split sleeper or adverse conditions. Log screams about violations that don't exist. 2. Didn't align time zone between company and log. Systematic violations from a shifted time zone. 3. Accepts OFF in place of SB as normal. At audit, the inspector asks for hotel receipts that don't exist. 4. Doesn't check odometer start-end. Misses teleportation. Closed the day in one city, opened in another. No driving between. 5. Doesn't collect BOLs systematically. End of month, nothing to reconcile from. 6. Stores less than 6 months. At audit, literally nothing to cover yourself with. 7. Sees HOS violations and doesn't react for months. HOS compliance basic goes red, company moves up FMCSA's priority list. Key takeaway. Chapter 7 takeaway. 1. HOS FMCSA federal rules on working time and rest. A violation not small stuff. Fines up to $100,000. Out of service. In the worst cases, criminal charges. 2. Every second, a driver is in one of 4 statuses. Off, SB, D, on. You cannot mix up off and SB. 3. 11-14-70. 11 hours driving, 14-hour shift, 70 hours across 8 days. Plus 30-minute break after 8 hours driving, 10 hours rest between shifts, 34 hours for restart. 4. Since December 2019, almost all commercial trucks run on ELD. Paper logs, only in narrow exceptions. 5. The September 29, 2020, reform. 4 extensions. Split sleeper, 7.3 and 8.2. Adverse conditions, plus 2 hours. Short haul 150 miles, break and on duty. 6. Log audit. Monthly reconciliation of the log against BOL, fuel report, maintenance, inspections. Every discrepancy goes into the log audit report. 7. Retention. Minimum 6 months. I recommend 12. 8. 2 failures that sink a safety. Doesn't run log audit, and reacts to HOS violations after the fact instead of the same day. You've got Chapter 7 if you can name the 4 driver statuses and give an example of each without looking. You know the 11-14-70 formula and can explain the difference between 11 and 14. You know the minimum rest between shifts and why 9:57 is out of service. You can explain the 30-minute break and which statuses it counts in today. You can explain the 34-hour restart. You understand the split sleeper 7.3 and why anyone uses it. You can name the 4 types of objective documents for log audit: BOL, fuel report, maintenance, inspections. You can build a load report from a stack of BOLs. You know the retention period for HOS documents. You can pull an ELD log and find discrepancies against the BOL and fuel report in practice. HOS is the area where I'll handle it myself, usually ends in a fine, 1 in 3 trucks. You're driving yourself, logging into the ELD dashboard every day, building a load report and fuel report every month. Catching every mismatch in a log audit report is physically not going to happen. 1 missed month, and you have nothing to show at the next safety audit. At Trucker Navi, we cover this under Safety Compliance. Safety Compliance Starter, $189 per month, up to 3 trucks. Daily HOS monitoring, monthly log audit report, driver follow-up on violations. Safety Compliance Growth, $349 per month, $43 per truck, 4 to 8 trucks. Everything above, plus driver HOS training, work with the ELD provider, DOT audit prep. Our safety managers have been through hundreds of safety audits and know exactly what the inspector is looking for in the logs. That saves you money on fines and nerves both. 315-871-0833. WhatsApp +1 929 347 4410. TruckerNavi.com. Data at TruckerNavi.com. Offices, New York, New Jersey, Florida. That was a chapter from Safety Manager, From Zero to Expert by Dmitry Borovoy, founder of Trucker Navi. The full book is on Amazon. The companion page is at truckernavi.com/en/book.